It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in cinema, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Hey, Bryce.
Yeah, he's feeling a little under the weather, and apparently so is Murray, but they're both here. It's very exciting. How you feeling today, Murr?
Yeah, whatever.
All right. I expected more, but I'll take it. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Oh, baby. Murray, you and I have to stop necking in the back of the theaters. It's just
Yeah, well, it was a busy weekend.
It's true. We were playing tonsil hockey because we do that in Canada. Thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on our listening platform and your listening platform. Or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible movie, just like the one that Bryce is watching for this week. And we will watch it as long as it played in a cinema anywhere in the world. Now, let's get to raging. But first, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hey Bryce, what are you doing tonight?
I'm going to my favorite cinema, Canyon Meadows Cinema, to see the best second-run movies at the best price.
What? How inexpensive are they?
Regular price is $5, $5.
Regular price is $5. Makes me hope they also serve pizza.
They do, plus a lot of other great food choices. Plus, I'm planning my office Christmas party there. They can host a plethora of options for any get-together. Gaming, movie, drag show.
Drag show? Now I know where I'm planning my next party.
Hey, maybe you think there's a Liam Neeson or a superhero movie planned?
I hope not. But maybe there'll be a great independent documentary.
Sure. Call CMC at 403-670-5444 to book a special event or go online at canyonmeadowscinema.ca.
Oh, baby. I can't remember, other than when we do a film festival event, I can't think of a week that we got to watch 5 movies. Count them, 5 movies.
That's a lot of movies.
Just like the price.
We watched more than that.
Yeah, we did.
But
we saw 5 in cinema.
Well, we actually saw more than 5 in cinema.
That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we did. That's why Murray and I have
5
But we're reviewing 5.
Yeah, we're reviewing 5 because they're the 5 new ones. Plus, Bryce is gonna. I can't wait for this episode. This is, as much as I feel sicker than I've ever felt in my life, and no, it's not COVID, but because I tested myself. But I have never been more excited to do our podcast than I have been this week.
Really?
Well,
I'm going to say that you're probably not going to be disappointed with the Rage or Dare segment.
All right.
A little spoiler alert there. I think you'll be quite happy with the result of that.
Nice.
Yes. All right, so back to In Cinema, though. Enough foreshadowing, which is what they did brutally in The Life of David Gale, but I digress. All right, so first I saw, I don't know what order you guys saw it in, but I actually saw Till first, so we're doing it first. Till is an important film. It is a story that needs to be seen by as many eyes as possible. The performance by Danielle Deadwyler as Mamie was quite effective. She has moments in this that are even more heartbreaking through her portrayal. She is restrained and tough and unrelenting. And here's the thing I liked most about this. Unlike well-intentioned films of the past, such as The Best of Enemies or Dangerous Minds or The Blind Side or Hardball or Green Book, or I could probably go on for hours, but I digress. Back to my point. In this film, there is not one white savior to be found. It directs the spotlight exactly where it should be, and that is on the Till family. This is obviously a passion project for Keith Beauchamp, as 18 years ago, he directed the documentary The Untold Story of Emmett Lewis Till, and almost 2 decades later, he has gotten this story to the big screen, and he has produced and written it as a narrative feature. It is still baffling that in any time, murderers can confess to a publication, get paid $4,000 to do so, but still with an actual confession in print, never answered for the murder of Emmett Till. This is one of the facts revealed in the final credits, along with the fact that it took until earlier this year for the USA to finally pass a federal anti-lynching law. This is a law that would seem to be a no-brainer to any reasonable person, but took decades to pass in the States. This film is a powerful and intense, and while it is not a perfect film, it delivers the message it set out to, and it did it in conjunction with a powerhouse performance from Daniel Deadwyler. That is enough for me to rate this Mondo.
Okay. Except, is it Danielle or is it Daniel?
I'm going with Danielle.
Okay, that sounds good.
Because it's a she.
Daniel. Yeah, I think you said Daniel.
I said Danielle. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah.
I have a cold.
Yeah,
so
I know you do. So yeah. And if anybody should not be actually correcting how I pronounce names, it's you.
I know, but that's why I did it, because I don't get to do it very often.
All right. So what did you think, Jim?
Well, if you love people crying for an hour straight, followed by grief, sorrow, and injustice for a whole 2 hours and 15 minutes, then you will absolutely love this film.
I like those things.
As you've already said, this is a powerful performance by our lead, Danielle Deadwyler, as Mamie Till. Plus, we got a surprising Whoopi sighting. This film, I have to say, grew on me as it progressed. It started a little overly dramatic for me, and I was feeling for the first 15 minutes that they are not really building the suspense the way I was anticipating, just making me feel like Mamie's character was overdoing things a lot. So I did not like the first 15 minutes of this. This is a biopic, so as usual, I wasn't expecting much because it's a biopic, and wasn't disappointed with my expectations because I didn't love it as much as you. I absolutely loved her performance, and I think most of the performances in this were great. I didn't necessarily love the structure. I agree with you 100%. This is a film that had to be made and had to be shown. I kind of wish I would have now have gone and seen the documentary, and I will probably go do that. But yeah, I didn't love it as much as you. I think I can't just go for her performance alone. There was too many gaps.
I think it was a combination of her performance, and I was just so excited to finally get a movie like this without a white savior. Like, honestly, I don't remember. Well, there's one in almost, and it's Hollywood, and it's the way they do things, and it's wrong.
Yeah, and I hope that this was made with black people's money, because it's I have faith that this director will go forward and make great things, and I really want to see the documentary. But yeah, I'm still like
the documentary is informative, but it's a little dry.
Oh, so you did see it.
I did see it. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I found that a little bit with this film too. So I still can't believe that it took that long to make an anti-lynching law in places where
insane.
There's lynching actually happening.
Yeah.
Like, it goes beyond. Now, I haven't obviously looked into lynching in my own country because maybe we haven't had many lynchings, so I don't know. But I mean, it's a common knowledge thing now that lynching has been pretty popular in the States for a long time. So, lynching people.
It's the worst.
Yeah, I as you watch the news for today, it's also, one of those things that you can't escape some of the stuff that's going on down there with our friends.
Indeed. All right, sir. I
never saw this one.
No, did not.
It's a lot, Mur. It's a lot.
It's a lot like life.
Yeah, it sounds like my kind of movie.
It was
Long
your
and
kind of
depressing and sorrowful.
Yeah,
Thanks.
there was a lot of sorrow.
Yeah, there was.
So we also saw a movie called Tar, which is a fictional story that seems like a biopic.
It does. Really good biopic.
It isn't very often you see a film that has a way of pulling you in over a long, slow character study where it plays like a biopic and has a female lead so powerful, strong, and offensive. It is also like seeing a car accident shot in slow motion over 2 hours and 38 minutes. This accident and carnage is our lead character, played by Cate Blanchette. And everyone that comes into her path or caught in her orbit are the battle-scarred survivors she leaves in her wake. This is now one of 2 amazing female-led characters that I have seen this year, where Cate plays as powerful a character as Dorota Pomkala, almost got it right, in her portrayal of Woman on the Roof. This film will have you wondering all the way through it where it's going to go. And as the film slowly progresses, our feelings for our lead go from wonder and admiration for her brilliance and intelligence to that of disgust and later a little bit of empathy. This on top of the fact that the humor is so subtle and punchy, as well as beyond highbrow and snob-ridden, which usually speaks to my sensibilities.
You and me both.
The music is fantastic, and the film was beautifully shot, and it is set in one of the most culturally rich cities in the world. Cate was great, and all the secondary cast was also fantastic, including a Mark Strong sighting, which you may not have even recognized him in.
Yeah.
Yes. Cate is great, and Tar for me was Mondo.
Cate is great. Yeah, you know what? Every now and then, Cate Blanchette reminds me of how freaking brilliant she can be. Tar is the supreme example of that. It is not an overstatement that this is one of the best performances of her career, and given the greatness of said career, that's saying a lot. I was in awe of her from the start. I'm always intrigued when I enter into a world that exists but I'm unfamiliar with. Such is the case here as we are immersed in the environment of classical music. On that note alone, this was a fascinating journey. It did not need the cancel culture and Me Too angles to be effective. Having said that, those aspects were expertly woven into this seamlessly and added to the real feel of the whole project. But back to what really matters, and that is Blanchette as Tar. She is absolutely mesmerizing as she is so in control and aware, yet she is oblivious to the fact that she is truly an awful, awful person. Lies roll off her tongue, and she has a justification for every one of them. Her blind ambition and unbelievable ego made her feel untouchable, but as we have seen in the past, that can cause one's ultimate downfall, as is the case here as well. Tar had me from the opening frame right through to the absolutely brilliant closing sequence. There is not a wasted bit of film in this whole project. Tar was Mondo.
Yeah, it's mind-bending, but you know, here's the thing. And as I said earlier, there's not very many female-led character roles that are so developed. And it's funny because on social media, someone asked me, they're like, well, do you have any male lead characters that were of the same level as these actors that we've been talking about, like Cate Blanchette, or our film for Woman on the Roof, or in Elle? And I'm like, you know what? No, I have yet to see it. I have yet to see a male counterpart to that. There's male driven roles where they're powerful or they're this, but not that are woven to the level of character development that you pretty much know these people inside and out. Absolutely inside and out.
Yep.
And for me, actually, just going back to Till a little bit, in contrast to that, the performances were both great, but in comparing Till to Tar, for me, it was the difference between a seasoned director and how the story was woven, and got to know their character. And I hate to say this, but it was almost like Till's character was a little bit one-dimensional through it. I mean, you can't help her because it's completely sorrow-ridden film.
It's a completely different type of, and one's a total character study, and the one is documenting an event that happened. So it's a hard comparison.
Yeah. No, I know, but I mean, we have.
I'm not going to argue with any of your points. It's just it's hard to compare those two performances because they're completely different. They're coming from completely different places.
Dig it.
Yeah.
All right. We got to see Call Jane.
Call Jane. Jane.
Yep.
Jane.
Hey,
Jane. Where are you, Jane?
Jane and Murray,
it's my turn now.
Yeah, because you got to sit with us.
Yeah.
I did.
You actually sat with us. It was quite enjoyable. It was like, hey, it's Murray. He's not sitting on the other side of the theater.
Yeah, and that's where we got to make out, and he gave me his cold.
Oh, see, I didn't notice.
Exactly. That. So there you go. Here's the thing. I actually almost saw this before. Because it actually played at the festival. And I saw about the first half hour or so, and then I had to run to a business meeting, which turned out to be a waste of time anyway. So I didn't get to see the end of the movie. So this is the second time I saw at least the first half anyway.
Nice.
Yeah, so basically it was set in the 60s. A housewife is overjoyed that she's pregnant until she has complications, and the only way to do it is terminate the pregnancy, but of course, abortion's illegal. She has nowhere to turn until she meets an underground group of women led by Sigourney Weaver, who risk everything to provide people like her with a choice. It was pretty good. I mean, it had some funny moments, and Elizabeth Banks was freaking awesome as usual. I love her. Sigourney was a little more subdued, but she had her badassery wit to save the day. I was actually surprised basically that they were able to get away with this. Considering it was illegal, you think that somebody would eventually stumble onto them and turn them in and stuff, but
they're paying off the right people. They touched upon that.
Yeah,
I guess so. It was obviously a very important issue. This movie was made long before the latest Roe versus Wade thing, so it was back when abortion was legal, but they told the story anyway. I believe Banks also produced this, but they didn't do great at the box office. But yeah, it was a good movie. I don't give it a Mondo. It was definitely a high man.
All right.
That's all I got.
All right. So, Call Jane is a period piece that may actually not be a period piece given the current politics in the USA.
Yeah.
This might be instead a story that could and may have to happen again, given the overturning of Roe versus Wade. The movie is about abortion and a woman's right to make decisions regarding her own body, but it's also about a woman who realizes that there is more going on in this world outside the safe little corner of her than just the safe little corner of her neighborhood. I am just tripping over my words today.
You're the worst.
I am the worst. It is about her realizing that she has the power to make a difference in the world, and that she has the ability and hence perhaps the obligation to help others that are not as well off as she. The journey that Joy, played by Elizabeth Banks, takes is a journey of self-discovery as she realizes she is capable of more than she ever could have imagined. This is the heart of the film and is greatly effective. This is another important film, given the times we are in. It makes its point, and it does it in an entertaining way. Call Jane is worth a watch. It's meh.
All right. So this actually wasn't really a biopic. It was a movie that's based on certain information, but it wasn't following real people.
No.
So
the group was real, but the people in Elizabeth Banks' character was made up.
Right.
It was a made up character.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because we saw a biopic that's not a biopic. We saw a biopic that is actually a biopic. And then we got a movie that is not a biopic, but it's about real facts. So,
Yeah,
what do
you
think of
lost
that?
me.
Yeah. Well, there's so much biopic.
It's
So much biopic action.
it's biopic adjacent.
It's biopic adjacent, yeah. This film
Yeah.
comes at a very good time for our friends in the US. And it really does
Yeah.
show how going back to the 60s really puts women's needs and health as a secondary need / requirement in American society. It does not hold anything back and basically lets us know what 60s America is going to look like again in some states.
Yeah.
Right now, or nearly now, this is happening. It does this through humor, intelligent women, and a message that is as important today as it was 50 years ago. Access to women's health should be free and for everyone. As the only 3 men / people, for that matter, who watched this on Monday at the late night showing, it was a fun experience. But also, I think we all came out of this a little bit more wiser about women's health and equality in the world that apparently still doesn't get it. My body, my choice.
Our diagrams.
Yeah, exactly. We got a pretty good science lesson here. My body, my choice is not just a saying, but a human right. Elizabeth Banks was a joy to watch. In fact, her name was Joy in this film. So it definitely fits. And Sigourney Weaver was a very solid performance as well.
She's all right.
Yeah, she was solid. In fact, I would give this 5 Elizabeth Banks out of 5. And I really enjoyed the loosely based biopic. So much, for me, it was a Mondo. I loved it. I thought not only did I really enjoy going on this journey with these women, challenging society, but also I just had so much fun because there was just the 3 of us in the cinema, and we were cracking jokes all the way through it. It was more than just the movie. It was the whole experience for me. It was
the experience.
Yeah, it was before I had a cold, and I could laugh at stuff and at myself, and it was good.
Nice.
Now we just have to get all the people in the U.S. who think women should not be allowed access to abortions to see this film.
There you go.
Yeah.
I quite often forget how good Elizabeth Banks is, and I don't know why I keep on thinking that she's not special, but she kind of is, and she can kind of tackle any role. And I don't think I give her enough credit because she can do comedy, she can do drama, she really can do it all. And I don't think I give her enough credit, and so I'm going to today that. She's very, very solid, and I'm not sure why I've always thought that she's better than okay.
Yeah, well, we might have to talk about her later. How's that? Put a pin in it.
Don't know that.
So we also got to see on Halloween Scary Saturday, we got to see a movie called Kids versus Aliens.
Yeah, we did.
I didn't realize they were going to be reviewing this. I just thought it was part of our evening festivities.
Oh, we're reviewing
it. Oh, it's new, so we got to review it.
Well, I didn't know that.
Well, now you do.
It's in the agenda, which was sent on Sunday. Did you not read it?
Yeah, but we saw it on Saturday.
Yeah,
and I sent it on Saturday. Then I would have paid more attention. No, but we watched the movie on Saturday.
Yeah, and I sent the agenda on Sunday.
At any rate,
on Saturday, I would have actually paid attention.
So you don't pay attention when you go to a movie?
No, unless I have to review it.
Unless you have to review it. I'm confused.
Or in his emails.
At any rate,
you know what isn't confusing?
What's
movie
that?
Called Kids versus Aliens.
Well, it might be a little confusing.
Yeah.
Kids versus Aliens. So take a coming-of-age film and mix in a little horror circa mid-'80s, and you get Kids versus Aliens. It starts out amusing, then as the story rolls on, the film gets tired fast. This should have been a breezy 75 minutes, but instead I was wanting it to end by the 20-minute mark. Director Jason Eisner turns the camp up all the way, but the over-the-top gore that was so effective in his previous film, Hobo with a Shotgun, just falls flat this time. The ingredients are all there for a fun romp, but it just never got going for me. The last 55 minutes of this were just kind of boring. This was a rage, and it shouldn't have been. I don't, and maybe I wasn't in the mood for it. I don't know what to say, but it just did not land with me at all. I could watch Hobo with a Shotgun back to back 20 times, and I'll enjoy it every time. And it's got, it does the same stuff, but this just fell flat. Rage.
That's unfortunate. That's sad. Disappointing and sad. So kids, for the most part, are annoying and disgusting. But sometimes they are witty and funny. And in this movie, they were both. But at the same time, this was a fun ride to be in with these obnoxious preteens and ass-kicking teenage sister. It was kind of like Goonies versus foul-mouthed E.T. versus the Sleestacks from Land of the Lost. All rolled up in a cute, murderous adventure that was fairly fun. There was a lot of stupid and a lot of children who were annoying, but I found myself laughing and cheering for our kids more than I want to admit. Surprisingly, not everyone survived, which always is a good thing when they're talking about murder. And even some of them were kids, so that also makes me happy. So, and the surprise ending with the parents was just the icing on the cake. I didn't hate it. It was meh.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it
wasn't good.
It is one of those movies you have to be, I think, in the right frame of mind
to
watch. And I was kind of in for that ride because I love the gore. I liked the smart ass kids and some of the stupid things they do. As I say,
the ingredients were all there, but I don't know, just didn't do anything for me.
You didn't need it. Well, what did Murray say? Maybe Murray's the decider.
Murray the decider.
Well, as I said, I wasn't aware we had to actually watch this crap.
Yeah, but you did watch it
halfway through.
Oh, you left?
I saw about the first 20 minutes, half an hour. Of course I did.
Okay.
Because I was bored and I was volunteering.
Well,
so
there you go.
Go see if I could help some people do stuff.
I think that says a lot.
So yeah, I only saw about the first half of it, and at the time I was trying to remember what it reminded me of. It reminded me of a movie called Good Boys. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was called The Boys, but it's called Good Boys. Yeah. It's a movie made for kids, basically a kid's plot, but with kids throwing F-bombs all over the place.
Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
So it wasn't really a kid's movie. Like, you couldn't bring your 8-year-old to the movie, but it was a movie made for kids.
This is like a nostalgia movie. It's like the people that
it was basically a story made for kids. But then they threw all these, these swear words out at the kids, and they weren't really kids. They were grown-ups. So I don't know. And the whole party scene, like, me and bullies, I thought they kind of went over the top and portraying the guy as a total dickhead. It's like, he was going to get killed eventually, but it's like, like, why does he have to torture people like that up until the moment? Like, we get that he's a dick, but it just, I don't know. It went a little too far. And then all of a sudden it just turned on its head with the alien thing. And I'm like, okay, whatever. They lost me pretty much early on. If I had seen it all, I probably would have given it a rage. But since I didn't see the whole thing, I can't really, I guess, give it a rating.
Okay.
But I thought it sucked.
There you go.
That's fair. I'm going to put, until he can watch it, until he can watch the rest.
He's not going to be watching it, Jim.
The rating Murray has is, I left halfway through.
That's it.
So get that, people. If you know what that is.
I think you could give it a rage, Murray. I'm here to tell you it didn't get any better.
Oh, it got way better.
The
bully was murdered and everything was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was so awesome.
Really bad.
Kids were gross. And one of the kids dies and it was awesome.
So bad.
Yeah. Well, it's probably not going to be out anytime soon because we saw it as a special screening. But
it's actually, it keeps on coming up as a release date, 2023. So.
No, I was pretty sure it had some streaming service as producer.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember which one.
Was it a Shudder? Might have been Shudder. We saw something that was Shudder recently. I think it was Shudder.
It was one of them, but one of them was a producer. So
I think it was Shudder.
Well, Ragers, if you get it on your streaming platform, Kids versus Alien, you can tell us if you... Oh, aliens. Sorry.
Yeah.
Plural for
Surely
kids,
coming to your
plural
streaming
for
service soon.
aliens. Yeah. There you
Yeah.
have it. But the winner chicken dinner of the week, we got to see a scary movie on Monday on Halloween. Well,
Did we, though?
let me rephrase that. We got a horror movie. well, wait a minute. That's not the right words. What is? Okay,
We
so
had the chance.
what's that Kevin? Yeah, what's that Kevin Bacon movie again? Not Footloose. You know, the one that has Kiefer Sutherland in it. Not the 2017 one with Kiefer Sutherland in it. But that's the one. Yeah, the original crappy Kevin Bacon movie with Kiefer. Right, that one. That was like demon flatliners. This is what we watched for Pray for the Devil. You know, where idiot students break the rules to do stuff that makes no sense, and the results are not scientific or based on anything. But in this biopic, or so they want us to believe it was, another biopic. Maybe the Kids versus Aliens was also a biopic. They have schools to teach exorcisms, but where women can't be an exorcist, but can go into locked rooms with killer possessed demons all by themselves.
They're trainer to be your exorcist.
Everything made so much sense.
Yeah.
In this, too, we get all the demon tropes we expected, like demon cracklings, force-like powers, wall climbing, head turning, jump scares, spooky basements, and most of all, idiotic memory flashback montages.
Those were great.
Ultimately, this is not scary. Had conversations that just ended for no reason. I remember once I turned to Bryce and I went, what?
That was fantastic.
It tried to remind us that the Catholic Church is sexist and ultimately had me praying for the devil to end this so I could never remember it again. This movie was awful. It was a rage.
I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it that much. It
was so awful.
What'd Murray think?
What did I think of a horror movie?
That isn't a horror movie?
What do I think of every horror movie?
All right.
Sometimes they're meant.
Yeah. So this was supposed to be scary, right? That was the whole point?
I think so.
Supposed to be.
I mean, it was a good concept, poorly executed. To me, it was just a lame Exorcist. I mean,
totally.
Once you've seen The Exorcist, everything else is like it was a PG version. Like there was hardly anything in it. Way too much religion. They took itself way too seriously. And yeah, I thought it was dumb. So yeah, I gave it a rage too.
Nice play, Murray.
Rage. I wonder what I'm going to give it.
If you give it anything but a rage, we will question your sanity.
I don't think I'm giving it a rage, but let's see. Simply put, this is the same tired exorcism film that I have seen countless times before. It has the same scenes and images that have been recycled dozens and dozens of times. There is a familiarity to this entire film as there is no originality displayed at any point. It is not horrible, but its inability to bring anything new to the genre makes it a rage. Although, we did get a female exorcist. I guess that's kind of different. Okay, change my rage. It's a low mat. It's like so low a mat, it's almost a rage. But it had a female exorcist. So it's a low, unoriginal meh.
No. Okay, so I'm going to argue here because she never became an exorcist. She was doing exorcisms.
Okay, yeah.
Exorcisms. But she was not given any sanction.
But by the end, she was going to school to become one. She was going actually to the Vatican.
But so she never made it.
No.
They gave her a special assignment. They gave her a special assignment.
No, she's training.
Yeah, special
You
assignment.
didn't see the end.
At part 2, she's going to be the exorcist. What did I miss? There was an end?
That ain't going to happen. What did you miss when you guys both bailed early to get to the other movie?
Oh,
no,
we
saw
at the side watching it.
Yeah, we saw the whole thing.
Oh, you did see it? Okay.
Yeah, we were standing there. Yeah,
Yep.
I saw everything. She's totally... in part 2 of this, she's totally going to be she'll have trained. They'll probably do a nice little montage showing her exorcism training. So we're going to get like a montage right off the bat, I hope. See the exorcism training, and she's going to be a female exorcist. That'd be great.
I'm still confused as to what...
This movie
yeah, what is it that caused this to, like, the one fact of
I
her
thought it was
being a female
unoriginal, but then
exorcist-
all of a sudden there's a female exorcist, so it's a little bit
was, yeah.
original. So
No, it
gets it up
wasn't.
to a really, really low math.
No, because the movie
Because the
itself-
unoriginality.
the movie, no, it wasn't just the unoriginality. It's that every single thing in this movie was completely awful.
Oh no, there
The
was some.
story
There
was awful.
There was some
the
stuff.
acting was pretty much awful.
Yeah, it was okay.
Every single scene from one scene to the next was awful. It was.
I didn't.
it was
I didn't
totally
like this movie.
demon flatliners.
You're not gonna get me to
It was-
argue with you. The movie was bad.
It was a rage battle.
But it wasn't
It's not-
rage.
Like, you can't just throw out.
It was fine.
It wasn't a rage.
It was an
because they had
exorcism
one thing in
movie.
it
They're all
that
the
was a
same. It's
twist.
fine.
That wasn't a twist. It was not.
It was an
This
exorcism
is
movie.
terrible.
Yeah, it was. It was terrible, but it wasn't rage.
Yeah, you're more ill than Marie and I are this week for sure. to get that.
You know not of what you speak,
He's
my
just
friend.
sick in the head.
All
Yeah,
right.
he's sick in the head already.
Hey, that's the wrong music.
Nice.
That's okay. I got nothing anyway.
Yeah, well, we're gonna play it anyways. What you got,
Go
Merman?
ahead and play your streaming. I got nothing.
Nothing at all.
You don't have a list of your
Nothing
favorite
at
Elizabeth
all.
Banks films?
No.
Can we kibosh his Merman Minute and talk about Elizabeth Banks?
Yeah, well, let's
Yeah, we
just
can do
make
that.
it the Merman Minute.
Yeah, we'll make it the
I enjoy
Merman
her.
Minute. Yeah, we know you do. You love her. So,
Right. Well, you bring it
so-
up. I will.
right.
I will bring it up on the fly then, just because
Yeah,
you
you will.
asked for it.
that's right.
Because I
we
enjoy
knew-
her.
Yeah. So I'm gonna guess that.
I mean,
what?
She was obviously awesome. The best part of the Hunger Games, best character.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she was.
So she didn't do much other than just look really weird. But
She was also great, and she's been in a lot of terrible movies. I
Oh,
gotta
she has.
actually,
Yeah.
one of my favorite
But every-
movies of hers, mainly because she wore a tight dress pretty much the whole movie, was Walk of Shame, which I saw recently.
Yeah,
Basically, she's a news reporter who gets trapped at a guy's place overnight and
Yeah,
hasn't
that was.
knee or anything.
that was a
going
low
across LA with this tight yellow dress. Mixed up with some gangsters and stuff, and then the helicopters following her, and she becomes a news story. It was
I think
quite
my
amusing.
I think my favorite of her is Slither. She's amazing in Slither.
Slither, she was awesome in Slither.
There you
Yeah,
go.
she
She
was
was
super
also
awesome.
in Brightburn, which I remember playing.
Brightburn.
Brightburn is the best superhero movie ever made, or one of,
Brightburn.
Exactly.
or super
And
villain.
of course,
movie.
even though whether or not you enjoy music, I mean, she was pretty awesome in the Pitch Perfect movies because she
She
made
was.
fun of pretty much everybody.
she was pretty funny in that. I'll give her that.
I.
The movies were terrible, but
yeah.
she was funny.
Yeah, nobody was
I
funny
didn't
in
mind
those.
the movies, except for what's her name.
Good old
Zach
what's
and
her
Miri
name?
make a porno, which I hesitate to actually like a Seth Rogen movie, but I saw that at the festival
So,
back when they were using the show. What do you call it? Across the street.
directed by Kevin Smith.
Yep.
Yeah, Kevin
and-
Smith movie. Yeah,
Yes.
her and they decided to make a porno, but they do it really badly.
Yes. Yes, they do.
It was
So
All right.
ultimately, what we're saying
had enough
is
Elizabeth Banks.
is
She's all right. See, I'm doing it again.
you're so
doing what
dumb.
again?
Downplaying her
off.
when I should be building
You know
her
what?
up. I don't know why I have
Exactly.
this affliction that I
That's
can't
right.
admit that she's good.
You do.
Well, it's because you
Well,
saw Pitch
I mean,
Perfect.
her last thing
Yeah.
before this,
I do
was
have.
Charlie's
She's
Angels,
been in
which she
some.
produced.
She's been in some crap. Some just.
Yeah, but she's always the best thing.
Oh,
in
yeah.
A lot of people have.
This is true.
A lot of people have.
Temperature rising.
Can't be a home run every time.
Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
My race this week isn't going to be the horror movie that I was actually just gave a big rage to. Because I'm not finished talking about Elizabeth Banks. My rage this week is why Elizabeth Banks is choosing terrible movies to be in. when she can make a movie like Call Jane and have it be amazing, and then she makes Charlie's Angels and Pitch Perfect movies. So otherwise,
she produced and directed that. So.
Yeah, it is good. She should stick to that. So Elizabeth Banks, stop making crappy movies, and then maybe Bryce will remember how awesome you are, because you are awesome.
Absolutely.
That's my rage.
That's kind of not really a rage.
It's a hell of a game show host too.
It is.
Hoping
She's
for better roles.
I'm angry that she chose terrible movies to be in. That's my rage. That's a legitimate rage.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Yay?
Yay. My rage is that I went to Till on its opening night in Calgary, a city of 1.6 million people, where this film was playing in only 2 theaters. 1.6 million people. It's on 2 screens. And me and my girlfriend Kim were the only ones in the theater on opening night. Come on, people. Let's support film, not just billion-dollar CGI crap fests. That's my rage.
That's a good one, actually, because it was pretty much with every film we saw.
I'm just so disappointed.
There was more people because we had just the 3 of us in Call Jane.
Yeah.
In Tar, when I went to see that with my wife, there was maybe 30 people. So there's more people that we saw.
Maybe 12 when I saw it.
Yeah. And then Pray for the Devil was just us 2, wasn't it?
No, Pray for the Devil actually had about probably 15, 20 people there.
Oh, okay.
Remember there was that whole group that came in and sat in front of us. There was like 5 or 6 of them.
Weirdos.
And for some reason, Murray was down hanging out with 4 or 5 people. He didn't want to sit with us. He wanted to sit with strangers, so that was weird.
Yeah.
Because you sit at the back row. I don't like the back row.
All that walking up the stairs.
All that walking.
That was good rage. That was good rage.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I liked it.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
Are we already at Rage or Dare?
No, we're at the lists.
We already.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We're at the lists.
Oh.
Yeah.
The list?
This
is a Julia Roberts thing.
Yeah, it is. There we go. So the reason that we're talking on the lists is because Bryce said to us,
yes.
I don't know how many weeks ago, maybe it was last week, maybe it was 2 weeks ago.
Who knows?
Because Murray and I both find Julia Roberts repulsive. And Bryce said, well, I will eventually watch that George Clooney, Julia Roberts movie.
Yep. And
then if she's as repulsive as you two say,
yep,
then I will agree that she is repulsive. So, this has been one of the most exciting days of my life, that there is a chance that we can get, in my opinion, the most repulsive person I've ever seen in a movie in the repulsive list. So, Bryce, tell us how the George Clooney, Julia Roberts movie was.
Okay. Ticket to Paradise cements that Julia Roberts is repulsive. That is a fact that cannot be argued after bearing witness to the excruciating experience known as Ticket to Paradise. The only solace I can take from the experience of this horrible, horrible turd of a movie is that someday Jim will have to watch it, as I will make sure that the moment that it is available on VOD, it will be put directly into my rage bag. Someday Jim will have to experience the anguish that I endured, and that makes me a little happy.
Yeah, so now you finally saw through the rose-colored glasses were off, and you realized how repulsive she really is.
It was awful, and she was awful. It's like, what? How does this person? What? People are buying tickets to this to see her? Are they mentally defective? Like, what is going on?
Okay, so I'm kind of just curious.
Yes.
To see, what kind of box office numbers
It's doing
Ticket to
okay.
Paradise.
Well, it's
Yeah, I've heard
it's
that.
got two of the biggest box office stars out there.
Yep.
People will watch whatever
All
crap
right.
they're in.
So IMDb says not a lot. Oh, here we go. Budget was 60 million. I don't know what they would have spent that on. Opening weekend was 16 million. Gross US was 36 million. And worldwide gross is 123 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just for argument's sake, two movies that we can ultimately pretty much all agree on. Let's find out what the openings for Tar was, which is a real movie and it is real good.
It is.
So it had an
unbelievable.
opening weekend of 158,000 and gross of 2.8 million and a worldwide gross of 2.8.
Yeah.
And then Till,
And cover her salary.
well, she probably did it for free because she saw this role and said, this is a life-changing role for me.
Yep.
So for Till, opening weekend was 242,000 and a gross of 4.2 million and worldwide gross of 4.2 million. So movies that have value and are important to our society and that everybody should be seeing because of the life-changing drama that we get unfolds gets this, but one of the worst movies that you've ever seen gets 120 plus $1 million at the box office.
It's sad.
That's worldwide, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, still, that means people in Europe saw this too. Why would they not just boycott it? Because
Because they don't care how bad the movies are. They just care who's in them.
And that's the problem.
that's the problem.
That is a problem.
That's just one of the problems. We
Yes.
could list. Okay, so that, you know what?
You're
that was,
bumming me
that was
out, man.
This is the most successful. Okay, well then let's just talk about Elizabeth Banks one more time.
Yeah,
Is she or is she not?
She's
mesmerizing?
fine. Is that,
vote yes.
is that it?
I vote yes.
Oh, what are we voting on?
I'm voting Elizabeth Banks is mesmerizing.
Ah, no, she's not
Murray,
mesmerizing.
what do you say, Murray?
Oh, I think she is, but
Nope.
it has to be unanimous, right?
It does.
It does.
I thought it did.
So, do you think Pitch Perfect 4, when it comes out, if she's in
Because
it,
here's the thing:
It might
if you're
push her
asking
over
me
the
if she's mesmerizing, let's take Pitch Perfect for example. For some reason, I think I must have watched it on Rage or Dare. I did, didn't I? I think so.
No, you probably just watched it.
So no, yeah, I
You just watched it.
I just watched it because that's what I do.
Well,
I
'cause it's probably the only
watch
thing that came out that
crap.
weekend, and you had to see it.
No. So Pitch
So
Perfect.
let's take.
We're going to take Pitch Perfect and we go, okay, well, is Elizabeth Banks mesmerizing? Well, obviously she isn't because the person she shares the screen with in that absolutely outdoes her in every freaking scene. So, no.
Well, there you go. I would disagree, but that's okay because I don't even know if she
I
was
would
in
too.
it for 5 minutes. But
What are you talking about?
It's
You
okay.
disagree.
Oh, combined, they probably were.
the important part about this whole conversation
Yes.
is that Elizabeth Banks is okay.
She's
Is
awesome.
that the important part?
Yeah, sure. Well, you said she was better
That is
than
the
okay.
important.
Yeah, I know, but I'm having trouble getting past that all. Yeah, she's all right.
Okay, well, hopefully she makes another movie like Call Jane. And then
By the way, why is his name frickin' leaving me right now?
oh, the one
Wait,
from Pitch Perfect.
John Michael?
Yeah, John Michael Higgins. That's
He's
it.
pretty
Right.
good.
He absolutely blows her out of the water in every scene.
Nah, you should watch it again. I might put.
I
Pitch
no,
Perfect 3 in
I
the
don't
dare
have to
bag.
watch it again. I watched it.
Yeah, you will. Yeah. I'll
By
put
the
it
way,
in the
John
dare
Michael
bag for you.
Higgins blows people out of the
So,
water
you saw the
almost
first
every time
one.
he's on screen.
Almost, but he's not mesmerizing. So
Whatever. Now you're just annoying me.
I'm winding you up.
Yes.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Bryce feared pulling from Jim's Death by High School Musical 3 Bag of Rage, and rightfully so. But instead of pulling High School Musical 3, Jim surprised him by putting in Bryce's biggest fear of all time, But Bryce pulled his kryptonite, one of the worst movies ever made, according to Bryce, cue eye roll, when he pulled the life of David Gale. Let's face it, fans of Film Rage, this is the moment we have all been waiting for. Oh, it's so exciting. Isn't it super? This week, if Bryce is still alive and willing, Jim will take his turn facing Death by High School Musical 3 gallantly and without fear. Obviously, if Bryce doesn't survive, Jim may take the week off. Out of respect, of course. Not sure what I'm more excited about. Jim facing high school.
What happened?
What happened? What happened to Casey?
I don't know.
I think he's just excited.
He's just got so excited.
He got so excited.
Now our listeners are in
You got the
suspense.
gist. You got the gist.
We got the Casey jizz. Huh?
Yeah, that's weird. It cut off, man. All right. Here we go.
So I have to pull. This is what he would have said. And then he would have laughed maniacally at how Bryce has to watch this movie.
Yes.
Aren't you going to listen to him talk about David Gale first?
Yeah, that's what he's going to do right now. Not just David Gale, the life of David Gale Murray.
The entire whole life.
Yep. The life of David Gale. Here we go. The movie that I never thought I'd have to watch again. I had to watch again because of this stinking segment. The Life of David Gale is the worst movie ever made. The writing is so pretentious and focused on its cleverness that is actually quite the opposite, which takes away from the point that it's trying to make. The direction is so overindulgent with its spinning screens between scenes and its flashing of written words on the screen. Rape, murder, death, forgiveness, righteousness, mozzarella, chicken pot pie. The words just keep on being flung onto the screen and they meant nothing.
Mozzarella.
The performances were flat as a freaking pancake, and you could sense the actors realizing the crap that they had signed up for with every line of dialogue. And then there are things that are just dumb, like a doctor revealing her patient's health situation to someone she has never met before, and David Gale ripping a payphone off its stand by pulling on the receiver. I know we don't see a lot of payphones around anymore, but if memory serves me correct, I'm pretty sure that they are bolted on pretty darn tightly, and a drunk Kevin Spacey probably couldn't tear one off its mount by pulling on the receiver. And honestly, I could go on for 10 minutes about these little annoyances that kept on piling on top of each other, making this an excruciating watch. But we also get convenient devices to move the film along, with the greatest offender being her car overheating as she's trying to beat a dramatic deadline. Just more lazy, gimmicky writing. Lastly, we are supposed to believe an investigative reporter cannot connect the dots on the most obvious game plan ever devised. You have an activist against the death penalty on death row, and she can't figure out that he's one of the people that's behind the whole thing. How can she not figure this out? The first time I watched this, I had the whole film figured out in the first 15 minutes. But an investigative reporter is trying to figure out some non-existent, contrived conspiracy to frame David Gale when it's obvious that he's the one behind it all. The writer repeatedly tries to get us to follow breadcrumbs that only an idiot would even consider, which is the obvious. Sorry, I'm getting all worked up.
I love it. I have a complete rage boner right now. I'm just going to let you know.
Yeah. Apparently, Kate Winslet character is a complete moron, as she comes up with every theory under the sun except for the obvious. I hate this movie for insulting my intelligence. I hate this movie for its gimmicky direction. I hate this movie for its sloppy writing. I hate this movie for its horribly obvious overshadowing that takes the so-called twist at the end and makes it not a twist at all, and more of a foregone conclusion by the end of the first few scenes to anyone with a brain in their head. I will stand by the statement that this is the worst movie ever made, and it's not even close. This is the biggest rage in the history of cinema. And I also am raging because I messed up the amount of rage I have for this movie, because I missed like a whole section of what I was trying to say. This movie gets me so freaking worked up because it's god awful, and now I never have to watch it again.
I love this so much that I finally got to witness that you got to rewatch it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how excited I am.
It's
But even more exciting.
yes.
Am I going to pull High School Musical 3 from your
I
bag?
don't know. That's a good question, Jim. I'm going to, so you have to trust me this time because we're not sitting in the same room, but if you can't trust me, who can you trust?
Who can you trust? I say that at work all the time.
Okay, I've got one in my hand. Would you say it's fair? I haven't looked in the
business.
bag. The bag is completely obscured from my view. Agreed?
Yep,
All right, here it comes.
agreed.
I don't know that this is long enough to say High School Musical 3. Let's see what it says.
Let's hope not.
Jim has to watch New Year's Eve 2011.
Oh, God. Really?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, I think that's worse than Life of David Gale. That movie's awful.
No, it's not. But it is really, really bad. Does it have Ashton Kutcher in it, or was that Valentine's, the Valentine's Day one?
I don't know, that whole series of
I
holidays.
know, yeah.
If I want to see a movie about holidays, I want to see the murder ones, because those are the good ones. Right?
Yes. I would tend to agree.
New Year's Eve from... Which year is this?
2011.
Huh.
Yep.
Nice. I'm now excited.
It's got an all-star cast.
This is the best day of my life.
It's pretty good,
For
right?
so many reasons.
It
so
is
many
good.
reasons. Times are good.
Yeah.
Times are good. And Murman is back in his saddle. So let's hope that we actually can all make it back in, and we're not sick next week, and be all together.
Hey, Ashton Kutcher is in it. So that's good news for you.
Yeah.
And Zac Efron, and Michelle Pfeiffer, and Jessica Biel. Oh, and Sarah
love
Jessica
Zac Efron.
Parker's in it. Robert De Niro's in it. Halle Berry, Carrie Elwes, Alyssa Milano. Common's in it. Seth Meyers is in it. How excited are you? John Bon Jovi's in it. Katherine Heigl's in it. Sofia Vergara's in it. Russell Peters is in it.
There's a lot of people in this movie that are on our
Carla
doubted
Gugino is in
impulsive
it.
list. I'm just
You must
saying.
be so excited. Jim Belushi. When's the last time you saw Jim Belushi in a movie? Oh, man.
I can't remember. I can't wait now to see this.
Josh Duhamel.
I wish this was Christmas, so then it could be my Christmas present to me.
I tell you, you're in for a good one here. I kind of regretting that I put this in the bag now. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I might enjoy it just a little bit more than Life of David Gale.
All right, then.
All right. Well, thanks, Rachel, for listening. Thanks to the Extended Film Rage family you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from the Movie Photographer for the voice of Rager Dare. But I only got half of his voice today, so we apologize for that, for technical difficulties. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We are always wanting to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies like New Year's Eve. To fuel our rage.
Last
but no
week
matter
on-
what you do.
Sorry
Please
about
make
that.
us rage. Please, please, please make us rage.
I needed
That's
more
it for this
Casey.
week. Rage on. Do we have Casey? Can we put him in the trailer?
Rage or dare. Right.
Nice. That's it for this week. Rage on.
Rage on.
Rage on.